One time, many years ago, a man named Thomas, his wife Laura, and their son rented an old, hand-hewed log house with a double chimney. It had stood empty for several years. Since the house was very big and their son Henry was the only one of the children living at home at the time, they decided to close off the upstairs part and just use the downstairs rooms. There was a door to the stairway on one side of the living room fireplace, so Thomas shut this door and locked it. They were sitting in front of the fire one night, not long after they had moved in, when they heard a loud crash from the empty room above them. As they listened, the sound seemed to spread and turn into more of a rattling noise. It sounded exactly like someone had dropped a barrel of walnuts, and the walnuts had spilled out all over the floor. They heard some of the walnuts, or whatever it was, hit the opposite wall, while some of them rolled down the stairs. They stopped rolling before they hit the stairway door. All of them but one, that is. It went on. Bumpity bump, bump, bump. While they stared toward the door, a big black cat came through the little tiny crack at the bottom. It had flattened itself out somehow, they thought. They hardly had time to see it coming before it was there on their side of the door. It was the biggest, blackest, shiniest cat they had ever seen. Without paying any attention to them, it straggled over to the hearth and sat down. It looked into the fire, blinking its eyes, then started to lick itself. It worked at that for 5 or 10 minutes, blinked at the fire some more, then, with Thomas and Henry never taking their eyes off of it, it got up and walked back to the stairway and slid back under the door. Well, they didn't know what to make of this. They got a light and unlocked the door and looked all over the upstairs rooms, but they didn't find the black cat, or any walnuts, or anything else for that matter. Every week or so after that, they would hear the same noises and the cat would come again. Though it didn't seem to wish them any harm, Thomas soon grew tired of the racket that came with it. One night, when the walnuts had poured out and the cat was sitting on the hearth washing itself the way it always did, Thomas said, "Henry, let's kill that daggone cat." For the first time, the cat looked at them. It bowed itself up, its eyes glared like fire, and sparks flew from its fur. Although he was startled, Henry grabbed the broom anyway and swarped it down over the cat, but the cat wasn't there. They saw it run into the kitchen. Laura got the lamp and they all took off after it. They had 2 or 3 chances to kill it, but for some reason they couldn't hit it at all. Finally, after they had knocked down everything else in the house, Thomas called from the front room saying that the cat had gone back under the door. They hoped they had scared it into staying away, but after the usual time, it was back sitting by the fire just as if nothing had happened. Henry told his family that since he couldn't get rid of it, they might as well all get used to it. So that's what they did during the year that they lived there.